Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Gilary Massa. I recently moved to 336 Clinton, which is in Ward 19. My city councillor is Michael Layton. And I grew up and spent 20 of my 26 years living in Ward 33, Shelley Carroll's riding, where my parents still own a home and live with my 3 siblings. I thank you for this opportunity to speak. I'm here to express my concern and disappointment with the recommendations made by the KPMG report. As I mentioned, I grew up in the Forest Manor neighborhood. My mother came to Canada as a single mother with $100 in her pocket, with very little language skills and 2 little girls to take care of on her own. She then married my stepfather, who worked contract jobs as a construction worker and would often spend months on end jobless because of layoffs or injuries. We were poor, but we were fortunate to live in a city where my immigrant mother and often unemployed stepfather were provided the support that they needed to help their family come out of poverty. These proposed cuts and this so-called audit angers me, disappoints me, and most importantly makes me fearful of what this great city will look like in 4 years. You sit here with the security of a good job, with a home that you can afford that likely has a room for each of your kids, with no fear about how you're going to feed your families. Talking about cutbacks as if it is only the city that is the entity that has to worry about budgets, and an audit that has said little to nothing about the human impact of privatization and service cuts. Call them what you want: service cuts, service reductions, amalgamations, privatization. Going through any of these recommendations have a severe impact on the day-to-day lives of the average Torontonian. Cutting community housing would leave families on the streets. Cuts to community programs would mean that organizations like the ones in Ward 33, like Harriet Tubman Community Organization, the Tamil Senior Centre of Ontario, the Iranian Women's Organization, the Alternative for Her in Somaliland, would no longer continue to provide support for the low-income marginalized communities that they serve. Cuts to the blue light transit would mean that those who work to fix our roads, clean our offices, work in our factories, and work in our hospitals will have no safe way to get home at night. And cuts or privatization to libraries will mean that my siblings and my future children will not benefit from the free, safe, cultural, and educational experience that libraries provide. Mayor Ford, who's not here, you were elected. Mayor Ford was elected on a platform that promised no service cuts, as were many of the councillors that sit here today. Many of my immigrant lower-income neighbors voted for this and trusted in you that you would protect and improve the services that we rely on. These recommendations betray those voters and taxpayers. They have put the future of the city in your collective hands. Toronto has spoken. This is not gravy. This is the meat that our city needs to survive and provide its most marginalized an opportunity.
Thank you.
We are willing to pay our tax dollars for the maintenance.
Great, your 3 minutes are up there. Thank you. I might point out to you, too, though, that it's unfortunate that the mayor's not here when you're speaking, but he has been in here in this chair for all but about 20 minutes for the whole day, since 9:30 this morning.
Yeah, as have I.
And I know that because I've taken over for him when he's been away. Yeah. Councillor Carroll has a question of you.
He chose the agenda.
Go ahead,
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. So, Gilary, you're now living in the densely populated downtown of Ward 19, but Parkway Forest is very densely populated as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, should we blow away the myth that all of these things in CPIP are just things for downtown places where poor people live? Do we need them in the suburbs?
Yeah, I grew up in Ward 33. I grew up in Forest Manor area. It's services that I relied on and services that my family relied on and allowed us to get out of poverty so that I could go to university, so that my sister could go to university, and so that we could take advantage of the beautiful things that the city has to offer.
Do you think those services are why, after the study was done, that maybe those services are the reason Forest Manor didn't make the cut and become a priority neighborhood despite the economics of the neighborhood?
Absolutely, and those are the same services that is the reason why people have sat here all day to come and speak to you as a council and hope that you have an ounce of moral, that you'll listen to us.
Thank you very much, Councillor. That's the minute up there.
Point of privilege.
Councillor Manalidi?
Point of privilege and fairness to the mayor. He is here. He was called out to his office. I believe it's a phone call. And I think that needs to be said. The deputant very clearly made it sound like he wasn't here. He is here.
He's not in the room.
Thank you very much. Thank you. No. All right. Julie Beddoes? Are you Julie? Good. Okay, Julie, go ahead.